Thank you for attending Create Sell Print. My name's Andrew Talbot, for those of you that haven't met me before, and this is part of a series of events we've been running for the last few years, really, to try and raise awareness of customization, what can be done. So hopefully you've all had a chance to browse around and see all the different suppliers. So for those of you that are savvy in the social world, we have a hashtag called Create Sell Print. And we're trying a bit of an experiment down the front here where we're live periscoping this event all around the world. And we will also have the event videoed, as you can see happening. So we'll be able to provide copies of that to anybody after the event that wants to share it with friends and colleagues. So really the idea today is to talk about the on-demand business model, how it interfaces with the licensing world, and new ways for retailers, etc., to make more money, which is the name of the game, really. So the agenda we've got covers our changing world, the power of licensing, and we've got various different topics. We're going to keep it to just over an hour, and then there'll be at least another hour after the event if you wish to interact with some of the industry leading suppliers that we've managed to get to spend their time with us today. So you've got myself doing a percentage of it. And then we've got Rebecca who heads up our content division, who will be talking about the secrets of personalised design. We've got John from Mimo, who have created the rather striking iPad-like kiosks. Graham, who's going to give us a different slant on the world of licensing and how art becomes products. We're very pleased that Zach has come from Prezibox and is going to share some of his top secrets with you and how they've evolved. And then Simon from Roland is going to talk about the theatre of personalisation and how that's changing in the world. So I thought I'd better start off with just clarifying what I'm talking about. So the first thing here is, what is mass customization? Now, there are two elements to mass customization, and it doesn't really matter to the printer whether something is personalized, as in it's a one-off unique product from a supplier, or whether it's created by the customer, user-generated content. So, for clarity, personalize is generally something where the user personalizes an element of the design online, but actually the world of print on demand is bigger than personalisation, where people are still printing in batches of one, but there's no stock left on the shelves. So it's worth knowing that the world of mass customisation, and would anybody care to have a guess in who the biggest print-on-demand company is in the world? It's Amazon. Of the millions of t-shirts that are available on Amazon, 95% of them are printed on demand. They aren't keeping stock in warehouses anymore. Amazon bought over 100 Cornet machines, which are about £250,000 investment each. So they are serious about this marketplace. So we as Custom Gateway are focused on the digital world, and I like to use a couple of examples. Who is the biggest cab company in the world? It's Uber. How many cabs do Uber own? Who is the biggest accommodation company in the world? It's Airbnb. How many properties do Airbnb own? The answer to both of those is zero. So we are focused on the digital world, and our design team laugh at me when I say this because they think I'm trying to drive them out of work when I say we're all designers now. But it's true. You know, I did a little experiment the other weekend with my kids where my 11-year-old created his own range of products called big-nosed animals. And he just drew pictures of animals with big noses and put them on products and created his own range. But that concept is there for all of us now. So we all have the ability to be designers. Everyone can become a producer. In this room, you've got some of the cream of the UK personalisation industry in terms of making stuff. But there is a network increasingly global. We have more than 200 producers on that network now. So you could produce products in Australia that are delivered in Australia. So anyone can become and with those two things, the established rule of retail is changing. You know, who would have thought a few years ago, and I have to be careful because we've got some big brands in the room, that someone like Not on the High Street could have got such a position of dominance from such a focus, you know, in a tight market because they focused on something interesting. So the rules are changing. And we call it disruptive technology. So I've always enjoyed being disruptive. It's my thing. But a disruptive technology is one of those that significantly changes the way that businesses behave or part of the businesses behave. And ultimately, our market is changing. Retail's changing, print on demand is changing, and it will continue to change. And it's jobs of companies like us to give you the tools, if you like, for disruption. And then it's the jobs of you folks in the room to use those tools how you think best to serve your stakeholders, make a profit. So, I mean, I just give you some examples here of disruptive things that we've launched in the last year. So, dropship personalization, millions of designs off the shelf. In-store green screen, we do a lot of work with leading sports clubs and other environments where we're, you know, getting your photo snapped against the green screen and putting you into a different world. We've done that within the photo booth, and we're now collecting images from photo booths, so once people have used photo booths at a party or wedding, they can buy products or albums after the event. We've got the custom product card, which we'll talk about later, which links in store. We've got kiosks. You know, we're not a kiosk manufacturer, but we work with people like Aventa who create great kiosks. And then you can see you've got Roland, Mitsubishi, the Magic Touch, the new Ricoh printer, all here because it's also all about the printing, whether that's in store or in the warehouse. So this is a phrase that keeps coming up in my travels around fast fashion. And those of you in retail will probably be very familiar with this phrase. So it's all about the speed at which you can have an idea and put it onto the shelves. So we're going to get faster fashion in the next 6 months. So they're already, and I won't name the companies because you've probably all seen them, companies that can turn ranges round in a matter of weeks. Well, ranges can be turned round in a matter of hours. There is no reason why we can't have an idea today. So wishful thinking perhaps, England 5, Belgium 0. When that result happens, can I have product out the next day that promotes that? Yeah, it's easy. Because the established infrastructure is in place, the technology is in place. The only thing stopping that happening is you, really, and your creativity. Is it possible to have fast fashion in a batch of one? So give people a series of assets and allow them to position and create their own products. Yeah, it's easy. It's no different. As a printer in this room, do you care whether you get 1 or 100? As long as you're set up right, it doesn't matter. You know, use the Vistaprint model. Vistaprint delivered last year 80 million batches of one. This year, Custom Gateway will deliver 30 million batches of one. Next year, it'll be 100 million batches of one as we get to that individualism. And then we're talking in-store printing, so we've got 3 in-store solutions here today. But the concept of fast fashion, design it at home, pick it up in store. Connecting clicks and mortar. So fast fashion. We can't ignore research. This was a survey from Deloitte, and I just picked out 4 things that interest me. 36% of people like the idea of personalised product, but so far only around 10% of us have actually bought it. So there's a huge growth potential still to come. 48% of us are happy to wait for something personal. Actually, that shouldn't be the case with a lot of the suppliers I know in the room now looking for same-day dispatch. But we're still prepared to wait for it, and on average, people will pay a 25% premium for something unique and personalised. So it doesn't cost 25% more to manufacture if you've done your job right, so there's more profit in it. Now, Rebecca's going to talk to you a bit more about personalised design later, so I'm not going to steal any of her thunder. But personalisation started with a name. It should be much more than a name now. Fabrics, colours, textures. Personalisation isn't just about slapping a name on it. That's lazy. Some names in this scenario work great. But there's a whole world out there that's changing. So is this a threat or an opportunity? Well, if you've got a big factory or a big warehouse full of stock, it's probably a threat. If you've got a production facility that's keyed to do larger batches, it's a threat. But the point is there's lots of nimble people, many of them in this room, who are investing in the right infrastructures for the future. So it's an opportunity. Increased margin, no stock holding. This is an interesting one. I was talking to a licensor the other day who said we often get caught out. Something becomes more popular than we thought it would be. And I guess, I don't think I'm giving any trade secrets, Ben, and if I am, then you'll have to shoot me afterwards. But Frozen was such a thing for Disney when it was such a runaway success the first time. There was almost not enough merchandise on the shelf to satisfy demand. This model changes that. You can be first to market. Use my England 5, Belgium 0 example. Embrace the long tail. There's a very good book by a guy called Chris Anderson called The Long Tail, which basically says we used to have a top 40 records where the top 40 records would be 90% of the sales of records that week. If you now look in the download charts and things, the top 40 would represent 10% of the sales that week. And it's all about that long tail and making that long tail profitable. And that's what we enable. And the other one that's come up more and more is counterfeiters. You know, you go on any of these platforms, you know, Amazon, eBay, Redbubble, Etsy, and they're loaded with counterfeit product that people have created. If we do our job right, we can beat the counterfeiters because we have better quality product, we have officially licensed product, and it jumps to the top of the list. So it's another benefit of what we're doing. And this was a very unique one I heard about the other day, which I thought was very cool. People got stock, plain stock wasn't selling end of season. Instead of dumping or dumping that stock, you recycle it, you print something on it, turn it into something different. So I do think that's a clever use. So this is a massive opportunity for everybody. So we are all customizers now. So please do have a look at these hashtags. We're going to start using them all. We're broadcasting on Create, Sell, Print. Customized by me. We want users to share their cool personalized designs. And we are customizers. We're going to share some of our favorite designs as companies with you. So it's something we want to kind of get everybody into. What can we do with customization? Now, imagine this. 1 million new SKUs, no commitment to stock, focus on licenses that appeal to your buyers, proven and popular designs, exclusive designs available, fast response to new trends, no redundant stock at the end of it. That's the reality now. Within the Custom Gateway platform, we've got around 1 million products available now for retailers. And that's going to grow. This time next year, that will be 5 million products. The potential to add products into your virtual warehouse is virtually unlimited. And that will allow us to explore the long tail in these niches. You know, these products don't have to, they're not, made by us. They're made by our customers, and we will expand these networks all over the world. That's our vision and our mission. So we're then on Create, Sell, Print. We wanted to focus a little bit today on the world of licensing, hence the tie-up with Disney and the fact that Disney have championed the event today. And why is licensing interesting? Now, the traditional model, and again, I have to be slightly careful on what I say, of licensing is going to change whether we like it or not. So why is it interesting? Because ultimately people search by license name. If I'm a Manchester United fan, which I'm not, I'm a Leeds United fan, I will search the internet for Leeds United. I won't browse a website and think, are there any Leeds United products on there? I'll go straight for Leeds United. So it's a key search term, so I need Leeds United products. People will pay more for a product with a brand on it. It's proven. There's plenty of statistics out there. We're all tribal, so we tend to associate with things we know, our favourite television series, our sports team, whatever it might be. And ultimately, probably the best point of all, and I'm going to welcome Ben up to the stage in a minute, we benefit from millions of other people's spend on marketing. Millions and millions of pounds that we can never spend promoting brands that we can have on our sites and shops. So, to support this disruptive business model, we've needed to create something. So, what we've created here is what all licensors can have, which is a seamless dashboard. So they can see where their licensed designs are being sold in the world at any moment in time. We don't release private data, but it says here, these are the number of orders, this is how many new products, this is how many new products waiting approval, these were the different channels that the product's sold in. So by using our custom product platform, we make the market transparent, so the licensor feels comfortable they're getting their return on the products, enabling us to push more flexible, different business models. So that's the key, the power behind all of this. So how do we work with Disney? And I think it was worth explaining. Custom Gateway is the licensor and pays Disney the license fee. All the designs must be approved by the Disney team. Rebecca and her team will tell you more about it, but there are 100 product types available at the moment, and all retailers can list those products. And if the demand/teamwork is right, we can look to exclusive products. And every sale must go through Gateway OMS to ensure that full visibility.